Good morning. Today we are going to be covering the second half of the 3-4 notes. We're going to start with example 6 today since we left off with example 5 yesterday. Example 6, these are ones that look like quadratics. So we are going to use the techniques of quadratics to factor them. I'm going to do it two different ways so you can see which one would work best for you. The first one, I'm just going to go ahead and factor. So I know instead of an x squared, it's e to the 2x. Well, that 2 acts just like the squared. So when we had an x squared, we'd factor as x and x. When we have e to the 2x, we're going to factor e to the x and e to the x. It will always be the same as the middle term. Now, we just need to figure out what two numbers multiply to be 2 and subtract to give me 1. That is a -2 and a +1. So just like when we factor a quadratic, we will set both of these equal to 0. So factoring or solving the first one, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. And then I'm going to take the natural log of both sides, because that's how I solve when I have an e. So natural log of e, that cancels out, leaves me with x. Natural log of 2, I'll plug that in my calculator. I get 0.693. On to the next one. So we are going to subtract 1 from both sides. I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. So over here, I still get x. But over here, when I type that in, it gives me an error. Remember, we cannot take the log of a negative number. Okay, can't do this. So this one doesn't give us an answer. It's not no solution. It just doesn't give us a second answer because I can't do this half. So my only solution is x equals 0.693. On to B. B is a little more complicated. First thing I'm going to say equal to 0. And since it has coefficients, I'm going to treat it over here. I'm going to come over to the side and I'm going to change it into a quadratic. So that way I can solve it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say let u equals e to the x. That means I now have 4u squared plus 8u minus 5. So now if I want to jump the cow, I get u squared plus 8u minus 20. So I get u and u plus 10 and a -2. Remember, since I jumped the 4, I need to divide that back in. None of those go in evenly, but they do reduce. So this becomes 5/2, and this becomes 1/2. So bringing it back out front, I get 2u plus 5 and 2u minus 1. Now my problem didn't have a u, it had an e to the x. So when I bring it over here into my problem, I'm going to replace my u with e to the x. So it becomes 2e to the x plus 5 and 2e to the x minus 1. So you can do it the way I did it in the first one, which is I just outright solved it with e to the x, or you can use substitution, put a different variable in there. We always use u. factor it as if it were a regular old quadratic, and then plug the e to the x back in at the end. So I get 2e to the x plus 5 and 2e to the x minus 1. So if I solve the first one, I take the natural log of both sides. And as soon as I get to this point, and notice I am taking the natural log of a negative number, I am done, can't do that one, move on to the next. So subtract or add 1, divide by 2, and take the natural log of both sides. This just becomes x, and the natural log of 1/2 is negative 0.693. Okay, so let's move on to example 7. So you will notice in example 7, it kind of resembles what we did in example 3 yesterday, where we have multiple logs on one side equals another log. So remember, just like example 3, our goal is log equals log, and then I can cancel the logs out. So plus really means times, so I get log of x times x minus 3 equals log of 28. Since I have it down to log equals log, I can go ahead and cancel them out. And I'm going to distribute what's in here. So I get x squared minus 3x equals 28. It's a quadratic, so I need to set equal to 0. And factor. So what two numbers multiply by 28 and subtract to give me 3? That's a negative 7 and a positive 4. So x equals 7, x equals negative 4. So unlike yesterday's, today we need to make sure they both work. And today your assignment is going to be all scrambled up, so you need to verify that both answers work. So what I'm looking for is when I plug the number in, am I ever taking the log of a negative number? If I am ever taking the log of a negative number, that one is not a solution. So when I plug 7 in to the first, I have log 7. That's okay. I have log of 7 minus 3. That's 4. That's okay. Those are both positive numbers. This is a solution. Plugging in negative 4. First one becomes log of negative 4. I can't do that. So this is not a solution. It is an extraneous solution. Okay, let's look at B. Minus really means divide. And we're treating, just because it's natural log doesn't mean I'm changing everything or anything. So I can drop the logs off and I get 7x plus 3 over x plus 1 equals 2x. Need to bring that x plus 1 up, so I do that by multiplying by it. And I get 7x plus 3 equals 2x squared plus 2x. Again, it's a quadratic, so I set equal to 0. So I'm subtracting 7x, and I'm subtracting 3. Go ahead and factor it. So it's 2x and x. It's 3 and 1, negative 3, positive 1. So my answers are 2x plus 1 equals 0. And x minus 3 equals 0. So again, I need to verify they work. So negative 1/2, 7 times negative 1/2 plus 3 is a negative half. This does not work. 3 does work in all the positions, therefore it is the only answer. Last thing, let's look at example 8. So in example 8, we are kind of mixing up all the ones that we've done so far and ones we did yesterday. The only difference is, remember, we need to check our solutions. All of our solutions today, we need to make sure they all work. So if looking at A, I notice I have 2 logs and I have a number. That number means I need to treat it just like example 2 yesterday, where I need to get it down into log equals number. So I'm going to subtract the log of 2x plus 3 from both sides. Again, now I have 2 logs. I need to get it down into 1, so minus really means divide. So just like yesterday, when I have log equals number, I need to convert to exponential. So log has a base of 10. So I draw my hand, 10 raised to the first equals this. So I write that out. 10 to the first equals all of this. So to solve, I need the 2x plus 3 up top, so I need to multiply by it. And I get 20x plus 30 equals 3x minus 4. So 17x equals negative 34. So x equals negative 2. When I plug that into my original, it does not work. Therefore, none of my solutions work. Therefore, my answer is no solution. So just because I have an answer doesn't mean it works. I can't take the log of a negative number. If I were to plug this in, I get negative 6 minus 4. That's negative 10. Can't do that. Okay, looking at B. I have logs everywhere, so my goal is to drop the logs off. So minus really means divide. And now I can drop the logs off. Again, I can't have an x in the denominator, so I need to multiply by it to get rid of it. That means I'm going to have to FOIL this out. Sorry, that's an x plus 1. So over here, I have 6x plus 2. Over here, I end up with 2x squared plus x minus 1. So say equals 0, I get this, and I need to factor it. So that's 2x and x minus 3, sorry. Product is 6 minus 3 plus 1. So when I set them equal, I get x equals negative 1/2 and x equals 3. Again, the negative 1/2 doesn't work. My only answer is 3. If I look at C, I notice I have multiple logs, but I also have a number. Anytime I have a number without a log, I need to get it into log equals number form. So I have log of this minus this. Okay, now minus really means divide. And now we convert. There's no base, so it's understood to be 10. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my hand. So it becomes 10 to the 4th. Equals this. And again, multiply by the denominator. So 10 to the 4th is 10, or is 1 with 4 zeros after it, remember? So I'm going to multiply that by 3x plus 4, so I get 30,000 x plus 40,000 equals this. So when I combine everything, I get 5x equals 225. So x equals 45. And that does work and is therefore a solution. Last one, D. Should be a D. We'll change it. First thing I need to do is move this x2 back to its exponent spot. While I do that, plus really means times. So I have all logs, so my goal is log equals log. And now I can cancel my logs off, so I'm going to distribute. I get 8x minus 32 equals, and I need to go ahead and FOIL this out. So write it twice and FOIL it out, or do the shortcut. Square the first, multiply and double, square the last. So when I combine, I get x squared minus 12x plus 30x plus 36. This factors to be x minus 6 in both spots. Since they are both the same, I only need to set one of them equal because it will give me the exact same answer. And I get x equals 6, which does work. So that is it for lesson 3-4. If you have any questions, send me an email. Bye.